All right, so at this point, I have basically modeled my character. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate it. Actually, before I duplicate it, I'm going to make sure I center this. I'm going to double click on this edge loop, and I'm going to unselect the mouth and just double check here. Good, looks good. So I'm going to switch to a front view and hit R for scale and make sure I scale it flat. And I'm going to hold W and X for grid snap and just make sure it's grid snapped to the center there. Okay. Now I'm going to Control D to duplicate, and in my channel box I'll type in -1 on X so it scales it in the opposite direction, and I'm going to push on this for mesh combine, or you go mesh combine. Now what I'm going to do is go to, let's see, I'm going to go to vertices and I'm going to select the bunch here, and I'm just going to double check up here, and I am going to go ahead and push the merge button, and that should do it. I'm going to hit 3 just to preview and click off and back on and see if there's any weird errors, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to hit back to 1. Good. So now what I'm going to do is basically make some more fixes on this. There's not enough geometry to support certain things, and then certain things don't look as good as they could. So it should be relatively easy. So all I'm going to do is, like, if you look at here, there should be more geometry. So if I hold Control while I have the multi-cut tool here, or is that what they call it now? What is it called now? I don't know what it's called anymore. But I'm going to click here. Click. Cool. Okay, so for some reason it's being weird. Let's try it again. Okay, come on. All right, Control Z. There it goes. And it's not drawing. Okay, let's try this one. Awesome. Okay. All right. So, and all of a sudden, there it goes. Nope. All right. All right, so I closed out Maya and restarted it. It was not acting normal, so whenever you run into something like that, what I suggest is going to just edit, delete all by type history, saving it, closing Maya, and then opening it back up. Okay, so I'm going to go to quad draw here, and basically I am just going to hold Control and add some edge loops in here to to kind of further help the geometry here. So just so there's enough, so you can see it's only doing it to one side. I was hoping it would do it to both, but it doesn't seem to. So maybe we'll add one here. That looks okay. Definitely need another one for the neck because that was not looking so full. Obviously this is for a real-time environment, so we're not looking for anything to be like too crazy. Now one of the things we do have to concern ourselves with is that we need to have at least 3 edge loops for each point of articulation. Okay, so that means like the knee here needs to have 3. So I'm going to put one on either side like so. And the hip area looks okay. I make sure my elbow has 3, so you can see it doesn't. I just got this one line here, so I'm going to put one on either side. And then my fingers as well, so you can see I'm going to put one here, 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 and we'll put one in between here, and then here, 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 and here, and here, and basically for each one of these joints, the places of articulation, I'm just going to add some there so that it can bend. Also my wrist, actually, for that matter, I need to add some spots for the bending there, which seems to be, oh, there it goes. Oh, there we go. Boom, and boom. Good. And that looks pretty okay. So, and that's probably enough for the foot. There's kind of like 3 right there for it, so I'm not too concerned. Good. Okay. So we're going to call that good, and I'm just basically going to go ahead and reflip this again. So I'm going to, I'm going to turn off the symmetry so it doesn't select both sides. And I'm going to delete. So I hold one, double click the other, and then press delete. So looks like something weird going on here. Try that, delete, And let's straighten out. There we go. Delete. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this, Control-Shift-D, because I already had it set up for my thing there. And we'll take both, combine, and I'm going to grab the center verts here and merge. Beauteous. I'm going to hit 3 to see if it looks like one unit, and it looks like it does. Okay, good. Now what I'm going to do is before, so I have a low poly version basically of my character. Actually, I'm going to do one other thing here too. With the quad draw tool, you see how it's kind of like the edge loops are not that easy? If you hold the shift, it'll give you this relax option, and it basically lets you relax. Let me undo that and let me turn symmetry back on. Let's try symmetry X. See, it doesn't seem to work with the thing here. But basically, it will let you relax the geometry a bit. So I'm just going to try and relax this so that it's a little bit. I'm going to do this real quick. So at Q, I'm going to go to object mode. I'm at Shift I, and I'm going to go to shading and do X-ray, turn it off, so I just have the character. And then we'll go back to quad draw. That way I don't have the other thing in the way, so I can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. Alright, so I'm just holding shift as I'm kind of clicking and dragging across this, because I just want it to look a little bit nicer, the geometry here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of clean some of that up. I'm going to shift some of it here so it doesn't end up with such a butt head. Yada yada yada. Alright. Okay. And that looks okay. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn symmetry on the object off. And I'm going to go to this. And I'm going to select this side. Do the same thing here. And delete. And let's see, does that give me that side? Yep, delete. So I'm going to hit delete. There we go. I'm going to go to edge. And I'm scale R. And we're going to look to flatten, but unfortunately I still have some of the mouth selected, so I'm going to unselect that mouth part. And I will scale flat. Go to the front view, scale flat, W, and I'm going to hold V, or I'm sorry, X for grid snap. Pull it out, put it back. Come on. Beauteous. And good. And I'll take this, and one last time we're going to combine these. And we're going to go to vertices. And I am going to merge them. Okay. Good. I hit 3 real quick to make sure it doesn't look like anything too crazy. Good. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I could go through and hit 1 again and maybe put like nostrils in and things like that. But I'm actually not that concerned about it. I think it's probably okay. I'm not doing anything too crazy with this. So, but basically I got one shell here of my character that's lower poly. That's a decent amount. And I'm going to take this and we are going to UV it. And I'm just going to click on automatic. Okay. It's not the best scenario. And if you know how to UV, then I would suggest, doing a cleaner version than what I did right here. But this could be worse. Okay. So I just need to make sure that I UV it. So I went UV texture editor and then I'm going to click on this button, which should make it more compact. So there we are there. Good. And now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to turn live off and I'm going to save this again, Control S, and I'm going to do File. We're going to export selection. Now, one of the things you might need to do, and you should have done this in case when you try to import it didn't work, you just go to Window, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, and you want to scroll down to where it says OBJ Export, and make sure that this is turned on. Okay. So I'm going to have this selected, File, Export Selection, and we're going to save it as an OBJ. And I will save this as kid underscore low poly. All right, and we are good on that. So now I got my retopoed character that's been UV'd. And we're going to bring it into X normal and compress them together.